I'm going to record on the cloud. Good morning, everybody. And I'm going to be sharing some information that I was fortunate enough about 3 years ago. I was spending, I think, around at least $980 a month, maybe closer to $1,200 and some dollars a month just on Zillow marketing. And I was on realtor.com spending probably I think my most I spent on realtor.com was $480 a month. And then I was on also, what was it? There was another one that Zillow just got through buying a few years back too. And there was a few, Yelp, and I was everywhere. And I was spending about $2,500 a month. But the reason why I bring that up was Zillow was impressed with me being a top producer in the area, so they let me get on this beta test. And since then, I think there's been a handful of people that have shared with me they were able to get this information. But it's called LP Mama, and it is a acronym for location, price, motivation, agent, mortgage, and appointments. So that's LP Mama. And it's amazing, when I started using this, it changed. I was always pretty good at answering the phones and getting appointments, and when I was in the mortgage business. But still, just to give you an idea, one thing about us realtors that we're constantly juggling many, many tasks, and I like the statement that Joe Stump mentioned to us yesterday, I think it was. He would say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, we're on. And that is so true. I don't care if you're driving down the road and you got to pull over real quick, or you're in the middle of doing a transaction, or you've got personal things going on. When you get a business call, a sign call, you get something from your ads, you get something from Sync, and sure, you may have to reach out to them rather than they call in to your number, but you are 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 on. And that's what helped me with this LP Mama. I haven't used it a whole lot in the last 3 months or so I'm a little rusty, but I want to share that with you. And we need to know these questions, and we have to come across that we are professionals. But more importantly, this actually, I shouldn't say more importantly, and as important is we want the caller to feel comfortable that we know what we're talking about. We're asking the right questions. We're just not trying to have a conversation and just taking up their time and trying to keep them on the phone. We're eliminating that time. Believe it or not, I think most of my calls average 20 minutes when I get a caller to call in. And even when I was in the mortgage business, a caller would call in, they go, "What's your rates?" And I said, "Well, we have many rates. What are you trying to do?" And they would say, "Well, I just want to know what your rate is." Well, then I would break it down and start asking them, "Why are you just looking for rates?" And then I would start communicate, "Well, because I'm doing this or I'm doing that." And then I was able to break it down, what's the best product for them. And the next thing you know, they're coming in and filling out a loan application. Same thing with the real estate business. If I'm the professional and I lead them, sure, they have a wall up because they've had a lot of realtors probably calling them, or every time they click a button on Zillow, they're reaching out to them, and sure, they're going to have a wall built up. And our job is to real quickly knock down that wall, ask professional questions, and set the appointment. So we've got to have confidence. And that's the reason why we're doing this here today. And it's going to probably be going on for like 3 weeks, because we've got to internalize this. And if we internalize this LP Mama, your business will change. you know, our goal is a couple of things really, is not only to get an appointment, but to show them that we know what we're doing. We're professionals. We're not like everyone else. We know our community. You know, we know how to do financing. We know how to find them the homes, not just throw them a whole bunch of homes that they could do the same thing on Zillow, but we're going to approach this professionally, and we're going to pinpoint, we're going to ask them enough questions, fill out forms to let them ask the right questions so we can go ahead and find them the home that they need and they want, not just you know, just anything. So we you know, we are different. We're not like all the other realtors. And let me see. Yeah, it's so important to get those other agents removed. And how you do that is, you know, you have a meaningful conversation with these people. And when you have a meaningful conversation and they feel comfortable with you and they believe that they like you and trust you, they're not going to want to deal with anyone else. Hey, I like this Rick. I like this Tracy. I like this Jim. They know what they're talking about. I'm going to go ahead and focus. You know, let's see how Rick or Tracy or Jim handles these my questions and concerns. And if you change the bottom line with this, if you go ahead and learn these techniques, they will absolutely put money in your pocket. Around this time of in the business, this is when I doubled my volume, because you know, Thomas, you know, challenged me to, you know, learn some scripts, and I'm not a script person, but the forms that I'm going to show you is really neat because you don't have to script it, but it gives you box by box that by the time you're done with the conversation, you're going to have most of this information that you need to be able to help them. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and share. And my computer information here. And let's see. Here we go. I thought, oh no, where is it at? This live recording things, you got to get used to it, I suppose. Can you all see? Can you see this, Tracy? Jim's
Yes.
new. Okay. This is that LP Mama, and I always thought that was a really weird acronym, but you know, you can change whatever you want on here. But I'm not going to go through this right now. We're going to come back to this. But as you can see, location, price, motivation, agent, mortgage, appointment, and this pretty much I think you would agree, if you know, got this information from a phone call, you have enough information to move forward and to move the customer forward or potential customer forward. So we're going to come back to this form. And, you know, the whole idea of sales is not being a salesman so much. It is leading people, and you lead people by one, and everyone here knows that, is by really caring for them, really putting your needs to the side and focus on what they're saying, focus on, you know, what they mean. And what I mean by that is a lot of people don't know really what they want. And sometimes they're feeling that, they heard from so-and-so, or they see these people in these beautiful homes, and the DIY or HGTV, and these people move in Texas homes, for instance, for, you know, a couple $100,000, and oh my goodness, it's gorgeous. And then they go out there and we show them some homes and they go, oh my goodness, or they may love it, but it's way out of their price range. So finding out, you know, what they can afford and so on and so forth. But this here, I've always liked the Ford and the acronym Ford, and then it's family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. Now, we're not going to get this on our first conversation, probably. I don't think I ever have, except for maybe 1 in 10. because I have someone that wants to communicate with me. So, we're basically talking about, what they see in a home, how many, how many people there are in the family, or who's going to be living in the home. So we get an idea. I do try to find out, if their job's nearby or where their job is, their commute. And then, and I also want to know what their recreation is. This is especially and I get a lot of people from New Hampshire, New York, New Jersey, and I want to know what what they like to do for recreation, because I would probably win by showing them. If they like to bike, I'd be trying to go, maybe move them up to Dunedin, or at least by the, the trail. What do they call that? Pinellas Trail. Or if they like golfing, get them in the middle of some golfing communities. So it's real important, this Ford. And then this here is, I always thought that the reason why I was successful is I learned to mirror people from early on in sales. And I keep saying sales, it's really more communicating, because I don't care if I have to show someone, I hope Thomas don't hear this, but I don't care if I have to show someone 100 homes. I prefer to make sure that they get in the home that's going to work for them, rather than just get a commission. It means a lot to me that when I see them at Home Depot, or, anywhere, at a restaurant, that I know that I did a good job for them, the best job I possibly could. I put my own interests aside and I focused on them. And how I'm able to start building that rapport is, one, get them to like and trust me. And how you do that is by mirroring them, tonality of the voice, how they stand. If they're a driver, I got to get to the point. And if they're more into numbers, I have to share more numbers with them. Or if they're very sensitive, they're more family friendly, touchy type, then I have to even listen even more. I'm more of a driver, so it actually sometimes not hurts me, but it's hard for me to sit still and listen to sometimes when I've got an agenda. I have to be honest, and so I have to slow down and listen, but I still have to lead them. If I let it go all over the place, then we don't accomplish what they want to get done, and I don't accomplish the information and gathering the information so I can help them win. So, and when you're talking to someone and listening, you do want to dig deeper. I think we all heard that, but we ask them, well, why is moving to, close to, the golf course is important to you, and, so on and so forth. So the more you learn, and the more interesting questions you ask them, it really takes you to a new level. So this is the sheet. I did go ahead and post it on the workplace. I posted in, just so you guys know, is there's a place in workplace training. I think training and motivation. There's also a place where under there you go over. It says files. You're gonna start seeing a lot of documents being uploaded into that files. So, but I did also put this, I think, on the post. I have this with me in the car in my briefcase, and my briefcase is open. I have a slot in there that I can grab a file, pull over real quick, and start asking these questions. A lot of times I can remember most of these because I've done them now for like 4 years. But this is printed out, get many of them, and this is my record. And then after this, then I go ahead and, you put it in your CRM, which we have an awesome CRM, Commissions Inc. And you could put a personality in here. There's a few questions that you can ask someone, and when they respond, you'll know if they're a driver. On the disc, there's DISC. You can find out, what their personality is. And also, when they sign up, I think their sync is asking them those same questions as well. So you'll have another advantage of learning, how you should communicate with these people. So anyway, though, I think it was 4 or 8 questions that sync asks your customer if they ever go in, and you lead them into signing in and help them start searching. But these questions, this form is awesome, and we're going to get into this form details here in a moment. But please print it out. I've been pretty successful, and I really believe this form was a major reason for my success. We have lead segments, and we have the A lead, B lead, and C lead, and I'm sure you've heard of that, maybe in different categories or different, 1, 2, 3 or whatever. But the A lead is this guy or gal or family is ready to move now. And they're the ones that I like to say that they raise their hands and they want to go out and see a home immediately. And obviously we all love this A lead. It's there's probably 1 in 10. And or I would say it's almost 2 in 10. But if we miss communicating with this person, it might take us 1 in 30 calls, or 1 in 20, because we didn't use this system when we didn't connect with them, and we didn't ask the right questions, and we didn't convince this caller, because all they wanted to know is they called you, what's the price on this home? And you got to take that, what's the price on this home, and you've got to move them in, to a conversation, and it's called a meaningful conversation. Just a conversation is not going to do it. So then the B lead is, I like this here too, because it does say someone's going to be moving in the next year. But really, truly, a lot of times people will tell you, in the next year, and I've heard they buy in a month. Again, like I said, is a lot of times buyers don't realize, what it takes. I heard a statement, I think it was yesterday, that most first-time home buyers think they need 20% down. And then it goes to the opposite. I think then the next one is the 180 degrees the other way. They don't need any money to buy a home. So it's our job to communicate, and especially first-time buyers, or even people that bought homes many, many times that are downsizing or relocating. It's a major anxiety issue for most people. And so it's our job to calm them down, get them comfortable with us, trust us, and have them believe that we can lead them. So the B lead is 3 to 6 months, or really 3 months to a year. And then the C, it says here the C lead. I picture a C lead being 12 months or out. In most cases, that's how I do it. You guys can go ahead and follow this verbatim. But the B lead, I really believe that they could buy and within that 3 to 6 months. And definitely the C lead is, 8, 10, 12 months and out. So we have communication plans with this system that I have. And believe it or not, I have about 12 different segments in this LP Mama that I will be sharing with you. And I don't want to give it all up at once because I think it'll overwhelm you. But it tells you how you should communicate with the A lead. And mainly what I want to share with you, that you should be communicating with them once a week. I even believe you even should be communicating much more than that. I haven't done this yet, but you'll see this. I'm going to share it with you all, that I am doing a video that is going to reach out to every lead, and I'll probably end up doing one for each individual person and naming them directly after I talk with them. But I'll have a basic short outline of what I want to communicate with them, thanking them for the community, for the phone call, taking the time out to allow me to get the information so I'm able to help them in a professional manner. And I'm looking forward to working with you and friends and family. I believe it or not, the first time I start communicating with people, I start asking for referrals. One of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to work very hard for you, and referrals are I want to earn your business not only today but for forever, and I want to wow you in effect, to make sure that when you run across someone that is buying or selling, that you'll feel comfortable in sharing my name and your experience with me, with your friends and family and coworkers. And it's real important because those referrals, I'm working like on the 5th one here in the last 6 months. So referrals are so important, but you can't get that if they don't like you and trust you and feel that you had their best interests in mind. So this tells you about the different leads. So that's also awesome. And we're going here, obviously the whole reason why we're doing this is provide value. We have to make sure that we share with them that we are qualified and that we're experts in our local market, and we have great negotiation skills. I have a presentation that I share with people, and I have my certificates of negotiating, and I have a printout of 70 some reviews and on this site, and I'm 5 or 6 or 7 on Google, and then Zillow, I think I have like 30 or 26, something like that. It's real important. Now, when you first start out, you're not going to have all those reviews. But again, when you're communicating with a customer and you share with them what you're going to do for them, then you have the right to ask for that review. And I did miss that. I do let them know that I'm working real hard, and I want to get I want you to take 10 minutes of your time to help me out with my business and write a review for me. I'm going to just buzz through this, but another thing too is, if you don't have any recent sales and you don't have this, but you might get a hold of someone like me and say, my team, we have a certain amount of sales. You need to have a professional headshot, and you have to be seen. So you need to be on Google and Zillow and Realtor.com, and they have free websites that you can be on. So you should be there. You need to take the time. So if someone researches you, they find you. Reviews, very important. Anything, even past business professions, that if you can get people to give you a review on your character and post it on Google. My wife even done one for me. She goes, I know he's my husband, but he puts his customers first. I don't know if she was being frustrated because I do put customers first or not, but you do what you got to do. You got to get those reviews out there. And a professional bio, have someone write one for you if you don't know how to do it. Would take $10 probably to pay a professional, Fiverr or something like that, .com, and have them write a professional review for you. I think I stole mine from 4 or 5 other realtors that I liked, and I put it together. And then I had my administrator go ahead and rewrite it. Demonstrate your expertise, differentiate yourself from other realtors. In other words, eliminate those other realtors. And I mean that literally. You need to, just get those other realtors removed, that they don't need them, that you're going to handle all their needs. So back to here. And let's see, how are we doing for time? A little longer than I thought. LP Mama, please learn that if you do anything at all, you've seen the ones page that we shown where the boxes are. You print those up, and you go to and you learn these questions. You could put this almost on a 5x8 card too: a location, price, motivation, agent, mortgage, and appointment. I see the address of the property you wanted information on. Is this the area where you're looking to purchase a home, your next home with at, or you called on such and such an address. Is this the area that you're looking for? You might just jump in. By the way, it doesn't matter if you come right into price. You can just find out right then and there. Are you looking someplace close to, to work? Where do you work? Are you looking for an activity? Like you said, you had someone that was kind of wanting to move closer to their family. So we expound on the location probably more than any other one. And then this property is listed at, the one that you called on, or my listing is, at 200,000. Where does that fall in your budget? Is that on the higher range, or right in the middle, or are you, is this on the lower side of the range? And then hi Maria. And then you go ahead and motivation. What is the motivation? In this purchase, and by the way, have you been working with another agent? And have you been going to open houses? I usually try to find out. I usually ask about the open houses. Have you been? I see, I met you on Zillow, or they're calling on one of my signs. I don't come out right away usually and say, are you working with another agent or someone else? I start talking with them about the open houses, and then I would ask them, so you're out, in the open houses and so on and so forth. So evidently you're not working with an agent, or you haven't found an agent that you feel comfortable working with. I talk to them like that rather than just say, are you already working with another agent? Because I feel it's almost like, say, can I help you? If you're in a furniture store or anywhere, you go, oh no, I'm fine. So I don't allow them to go ahead and say, yeah, I'm working with another agent, because I think that's just a wall that they're trying to put up to have you go away. You just answer that one question and then let me go on. And then mortgage is real important. Are you going to be paying cash, or do you need a loan? And and then being as I have 17 years in the mortgage business, I usually talk to them more about, especially if they've been out looking at homes a lot, or a lot of open houses. I ask them, why haven't you chose one of those homes that you've seen? Or some people go to open houses a lot, but there's some that are going to open houses are usually pretty serious, and I like those that say that they've been going to quite a few open houses. But I asked what they liked about it and what they didn't like about it. Obviously, you hadn't made a decision on any of those homes. What kept you from making an offer? And it's great because there's mortgage financing out there. If they say, well, we can't find one that's open enough, or we can't find one with a decent kitchen, I have financing that will give them a kitchen. Basically, we can put that 95% of the cost of the kitchen on top of the loan. We talked about that in the financing training a couple of weeks ago. So as you can see, I'm able to really create a conversation. It's called a meaningful conversation with these call-ins, and I get them to want to meet me. So the bottom line for all this talking that I've shared with you for the past 30 some minutes has been to get an appointment, and that's where we win. So we could either get them to come in and sit down with you and have a buyer consultation. To be honest with you, I try to get them out. If they're calling on a particular home, I try to get them and meet them at that home, because I feel once they meet with me, again, that question or that statement I said, is it 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? When I meet them at that home, I'm being interviewed. I'm being checked out. I actually let people know, as you know, I'm a positive person for the, for the most part, but I hope you don't mind if I point out some of the flaws or the concerns I have with this house, as well as some of the benefits and the of this home. And so right away, people know that I'm not just trying to meet them and shove a car down their throat like the car salesman reputation is. And so I'm there to really help them, educate them on what they should be looking for. And then I turn around to them and I say, I was very excited to get a chance to meet with you and share with you, my real estate business, my skills, and how I approach each and every home for my buyers. And would you feel like that you feel comfortable enough for me to go ahead and work with you? And then I usually tell them that, because I'm very, very busy. I feel that we would work well together. And if you have other realtors that you plan on working with, I really don't have time to go out and share homes with other people. I mean, share homes with people like yourself, even though I like you, but I want you to commit to me. And I'll make sure that I'll look at, the FSBOs. I'll do, I'll check out all the listings in the areas that we share. You share with me that you want me to be looking, and the type of homes that you want. I'm not going to be just sending you a bunch of homes for you to just look at. I'm going to be sharing homes with you that I've already personally looked through each and every photo. And this is a true statement. I never send a home to someone that I haven't looked through all the photos. And I usually go through and look and see if it's in an area that maybe there's a room addition. I wanted to make sure or a converted room, I wanted to make sure that it was permitted. If not, if I do send it to you, I'm going to say I'm a little concerned about this room addition. I'm not quite sure if it was done to code or not, but it does look like it might be worth going and seeing. So I do a lot for these people, and they realize that I know what I'm talking about, that I am a professional, but I am asking for a commitment. And I don't remember but one or two people, and we didn't like each other really. I didn't like them and they didn't like me. And that's okay, because not everyone fit, and they weren't allowing me to communicate with them very well. They weren't giving me good eye contact. And I didn't want to work with them. So I showed them the homes, thanked them, and I went my way. And I never bothered calling them again. But I could have probably sent them to someone else. And next time, now that I have a team, I might say, you know what, so-and-so may work real well with them. But first, I would want to make sure that they were, they were for real and they weren't going to waste that referral's time. You guys, that's about all I have. And there's one more form. I'm going to go over this at another time because we're running over. But Sync has some really good information also about the day ones and what you should do. But this 10-day conversion on a lead really, really is good, and it's amazing. So instead of wondering how I should deal with these customers, these potential customers, this tells you, buyer scripts. So I'm going to upload this as well into the system, and we'll do some training on it. Okay, but it talks about, not only does it give you, day 1 through day 10, but it also tells you what to say. So, there's a phone call. It's amazing, it's just absolutely amazing. It's done for you. And so there's no more guessing in this business. I think Zillow spent probably $1 million on this. I know I was in the car business for a short period of time, a couple of years. And I know Auto Nation at the time spent like $3 million on scripting for us salespeople. And I'm sure they spent Zillow spent hundreds of thousands of dollars putting this together. So it's not like me going in here and putting all this together for you just to see if it works. This was unbelievably well put together. And I'm sharing it with you guys because I want you to be winners. I want you to get that, take that fear out of, okay, what do I do? What's the next step? You know, but when we do get a call, we do get a lead, we can't practice on them, or we can't, what is that word where we just try to see if something works. Let's learn this, and then you guys can turn around and change it, you know, once you become successful. But I'll tell you, if you only convert 1 or 2 deals out of 10, or have the opportunity out of 10 leads, 1 or 2 deals, and then you blow it, you might have to go through almost another 10 before you get it. Or you might get 2 right away. You never know. These leads, and sometimes when I was selling cars, I would outsell almost everybody, and because a lot of people would prejudge. People would pull up in this radio car, and I thought, you know what? They're people, you know, just like me and anyone else. I'm not going to prejudge them. I mean, obviously they need some help, so I would go out there as a servant to see how I could help them, because it looked like that car wasn't going to make it around the block. And I end up making the biggest sale in our company's history. And the customers referred me a whole bunch of people, and it was just amazing. My GM bragged about that for 3 months. And you know, you just can't prejudge. If you do, shame on you. So the whole idea here is to learn these scripts. And then I had a little something that I wanted to share with you guys, and then we're done. And I don't know where I put it. But, you know, it's when you're getting into business, especially if you're new, it is a wonderful business. Where else could, like someone like me, I don't even have a college background. Sure, I went and took some classes. But, you know, when I lost my businesses back in, '08, when the lending imploded and my title company, everything just fell apart. You know, I almost wanted to quit, but I didn't. And, you know, and I'm so glad, because I couldn't even get a regular job. I couldn't get a $12 or $15 job. And I was making well over $100 an hour with my businesses. And gosh, I had the cars and the homes and commercial building, the toys, and it was all gone. So where do you start at my age? Well, thank goodness my GM said, Rick, why don't you get it back into the real estate business? You know, and thank goodness for him, because I did not see myself where I am today. And I did not see myself with like 40 some people below me in the Realty Partners, and, you know, 24 people that is basically on my team, directly on my team. I didn't see that 2.5 years ago, but I knew that if I took a couple of steps here, I would get there. And I really, truly doubled my volume the first full 12 months in being with Realty Partners, because of Thomas' leadership, with the tools that we have. And now we have, I think, 3 or 4 times more of the tools. So my challenge to you is figure out, and I keep saying this, but figure out your why. You know, you got to know what your why is. It is so important, because this business is tough. Gosh, you're on cloud 9 one day, and the next day you're like 6 feet under. It feels like you go, my goodness, I hate this business, or this customer. I can't believe that they, you know, they're my friends. I can't believe they went someplace else. So there's a lot of things, challenges in this business. and a lot of distractions. And I'm being coached right now, and I'm getting my time down to where I have personal time and I have business time to produce, put volume, to put money in my pocket. And I also have team leadership time. So I'm scheduling my time so I have a life, and I can make good money. So I want you to visualize yourselves. What if, what if 3 or 4 years down the road that you're making $50,000 a year residual income? Could be more, could be 100. My goal is over that. But how would that change your life? How would your, maybe let's say your family look at you differently, or how, can you take care of family, whatever it is. This business is a true vehicle to help us get where we want to be. I want to be retired in 3 years, and January 2022, I'm going to be retired, and I am going to have more residual income than I'm making right now working. And I know it, I feel it, and I'm so excited about it. And let's say I pass away and I'm not able to enjoy it, but my kids and my grandkids, my wife are going to be taken care of. So I challenge you to figure out what your why is, and what motivates you. And then the last thing is see yourself being that success. And that's all I have. I'm going to go ahead and stop the screen share and the recording. And if you guys have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. I am going to be posting this information, so you will be able to see the recording, and I will go ahead and upload these documents. Okay? Any questions?
No.
Thanks for all the stuff, Rick.